Hello, welcome to my channel. I wanted to show you my hydroponic setup. It's a mix between Kratky and the Wick system. There are countless setups, but this one has worked for me. I wanted something simple that I could put seeds in and not worry about transplanting them. Now let's begin. I am using a 24-ounce wide mouth mason jar, but you can use any container you have on hand. The amount of hydroponic solution you'll need is based off of where your net pot sits in the mason jar. I like using wide mouth because it fits perfectly with this 3-inch net pot, and all I do is place the net pot inside of the mason jar and use it as a reference. You don't want it touching the bottom of the net pot, or else the cocoa coir, which I'll be using as the medium, will absorb too much water and it will fall apart. I made this a mistake on my first attempt. So what I do is I put it right under the net pot, which is at the 400 milliliter, or you could place it at the 14-ounce mark. And the hydroponic solution I'll be using is General Hydroponics Flora series. For the wick, I'm using this yarn I got from the dollar store. I just got it because it was my favorite color. If you're worried about chemical dyes entering your plants, then you can use anything you're comfortable with as a wick. When you're measuring out the yarn, make sure it is able to reach at the bottom of the mason jar, and I just cut it to whatever length I see fit, and this will work fine for me. And using your 3-inch net pot, just weave through the wick. I like to do it on both sides. I enter through one side and then I exit on the other so that it is a secure fit. Like so. The medium I'll be using is cocoa coir. You want the consistency to be like this. You don't want it sticking together, or else it'll make it a little bit more difficult to put it in the net pot. And you want to use your 3-inch net pot to fill it up. And it gets a little bit messy, so you might want to do it in an area that you don't mind getting a little dirty. And you want to press it down so that the air pockets will be taken out. And once you have enough of your medium inside, just use a leveling tool to take off the excess. And also I like to take off the excess right here on the sides by just wrapping around so that it doesn't fall into the mason jar. And there you have it, your little net pot. And so now with your mason jar, you just place in your little net pot inside. And in my case, the wick will take some time for it to absorb some water so that it could weigh it down and reach the bottom of the mason jar. And to prevent algae growth, I'm using this brown lunch bag that I have cut 18 centimeters or 7 inches. And what you want to do is open it up. And place the mason jar inside. And you want to be careful whenever you're dealing with it, because you don't want to disturb the cocoa coir, or else it will fall to the bottom. And I use a rubber band to secure the top. If you're using this outdoors, you may want to use the yarn to secure around the top because it'll just last longer. I left it out in the sun one time and the rubber band just broke. To sow seeds, you just make a little hole on the top to whatever depth that your seed requires, and you just cover it up. And also don't forget that you want to name your plant. So I'm going to be making a little name tag. I make my own name tag with a toothpick and a sticky tab. All you do is just take one and fold it in on itself. And you could write the name of the plant and the date as well. And now you can place it under a grow light or in a sunny area. Once the roots have developed to reach the solution, you can just take out the wick and let the roots go into the solution and absorb it. This is my Monstera, which grew perfectly fine in this setup. As you can see, the roots are super long. If you're using it outside, you may want to leave the wick to help cool down the plants in hot temperatures, and keep in mind that the solution will evaporate more readily and will change the concentrations of your nutrients. And there you have it, your very own hydroponic system. I'll be growing different types of plants in this system and see how they develop. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.